Hi everyone, this is Alicia Young from Creative Works by Alicia. I wanted to pop on real quick. I'm supposed to be resting up from my craft show that I just had at St. Leo the Great. It was a really nice craft show. That was my first time participating in that craft show, and it really was successful for me. So I do plan to try to do another craft show at St. Leo the Great, should they have another one. But right now I'm coming to you because I was thinking this is something that I always have at all of my craft shows or my craft fairs that I do every year. And normally what I would do is I always have the popcorn. I get the secret popcorn. It doesn't matter which size. I just get whatever the box, whatever. I try to get a box, that has a lot of them in it for the cheapest price. So, but I usually always try to get Pop Secret. And normally what I do is I have images that I have purchased from Etsy, and I usually download those images and print them out on glossy photo paper. And then I, wrap it with that image, and I sell it that way. However, what I noticed is last year, and I don't know why, but last year when I did what I've been doing with printing them out on the photo paper, I noticed that for some reason the ink was just rubbing. It was coming off on my hands. It was a mess. And I had to wrap each one individually so that, if people were looking at them, they didn't get ink all over their hands. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going through that anymore. Especially when I looked, and the price for the ink for my printer is $70. So I said, okay. I said, these are a good seller. They're really great. What I like about the popcorn, having the popcorn wrappers is you can find, there are a couple of videos on YouTube, and you can make like little boxes for the to put your popcorn in. You can, make, all sorts of things. But to me, this is just a personal preference here. I think if you want something that you don't need a lot of tools to make it, and it's very economical to make, and you can take something and this gift can go a long way. And this is just a little something that you want to give maybe the mailman, your neighbor, the delivery driver, or the bus driver, or even like if you work in an office and you have like 30 people that you want to give something to. This is something that's economical, and it just, something to say, happy holidays. I know people from working in the office that used to give just a card and a candy cane. And it's along the same idea. There's nothing wrong with a card and a candy cane, but this, I think, it goes a long way. And so what I decided to do this year is I took mine and I wrapped it in, this is not printer paper. Although I'm sure you could use printer paper, I chose not to because the printer paper that I have is very, very thin. And I thought you would be able to see the image of, Pop Secret right through it more clearly. And this is some paper that I had in my stash, and I probably purchased this paper maybe 2 years ago. And it's really because at that time I was thinking about making like a coloring book, and I needed some paper that was thin enough that would turn pages, but would hold the image, if you're going to use crayons or whatever you're going to use. And I purchased this paper, like I said, I believe 2 years ago. I know I didn't pay a lot for it, and I got a really big pack of it. So I want to say, if I had to guess, I probably paid, definitely under $15, definitely. And so I knew I had this in my stash, and I said, well, I'm going to use this. What I did with the paper came, it comes in like a full size sheet here. And all I did with the paper is I cut it down. You don't need a cutter. You don't need any kind of tools. You don't even have to measure if you don't want to. My first set, I measured. After that, I just kind of eyeballed it. And basically, it's really easy to put this wrapper on. All I did was I took my popcorn, I laid it down. What I like to do is I like to apply a little tape so that things aren't shifting around. And I usually just put a little tape like this on here to hold this in place. And then I get another piece of tape and I like to tape it. I like to make sure my sides are, you know, even, and then I tape it in 2 places on the back side of it. And then, you know, you're done with your base starting. Now, you could leave it like this, and you could attach whatever stickers you can use, or you can you know, draw on it if you want to. But I think, personal preference, it looks better if it's a little bit layered. So these are a couple ones that I have made already. And this one, as you can see, is my base paper. And then I just used the scrap piece of paper that I had. I just eyeballed it, cut it out. You can use scissors if you don't have a cutter. I just used my guillotine cutter that I had, but you can use scissors. It, you know, it doesn't really matter. This, I already had a bunch of these punched out. I had a punched, and I had already stamped these, and I had it in my stash. So I just put one of that there, and then that's it. This is perfect. I wanted to leave some of them not too frilly, because I do have a lot of male customers that will come to my table and look. And this is something that if a man wanted something that wasn't too frou-frou, too frilly, and maybe he wanted to give to, you know, another one of his co-workers, and he didn't want it to be, you know, like I said, too frilly. This is something that is kind of like, you know, is carrying the line of not too frilly. You know, it could be man or a woman, it doesn't matter. So unisex is what I'm trying to say. So I thought this was nice, and I like it. I think it looks nice. It's clean and simple on the back. I mean, on the back, if you want to, you can go 2-4. You can decorate yours if you want to decorate them, you know, this way, vertical. You know, I like to decorate mine horizontal. So this is one of the ones I've done already. This is a second one. I just took, and I had my base paper on here. I took another scrap piece as a layering piece. I added a ribbon, and then I used some of my stickers, my puffy stickers, and I put this on here. So that's another way that, you know, you can decorate them. Use what you have on hand in your stash. That's what I'm doing. And this is another one. I just layered my base paper, still some of that scrap paper. I popped up another piece of the leftover scrap. I popped it up on with some foam, and then I put another sticker here, and then I stamped wishing you a Merry Christmas. So, you know, this is a very nice economical gift. I think it's a very nice gift. Like I said, I usually leave one for my mail carrier every year. And even if you wanted, if you thought, well, I want to give somebody a little something, and you could also, you could add a gift card if that's what you wanted to do. You could, you know, you could tuck it in a sleeve. Excuse me. You could tuck it in a sleeve here. You could tape a gift card to the back if you wanted to. You know, like if you want to give somebody maybe a $5 gift card to, you know, a coffee shop or something. But I just wanted to come on and say, you know, that you can get some, excuse me, I got something in my throat. You can make some, these are great for gifts, personal gifts if you want to give, or for your craft show. You know, these, usually at my craft show for something like this, I usually sell these for $1 each. And it's, like I said, people are looking for something, you want to give like a little stocking stuffer, or you know, a little something to just say happy holidays to someone. And these, excuse me, these for $1 are economical. You buy them in the box, and some of the boxes, I think you get maybe 12 to a box for usually under $5. So, you know, like I said, this is something that I do every year. And this year I decided, I don't know what's going on. This year I decided to not print out the images with the photo paper, because that's just, you know, $70 for an ink cartridge. I'm going to go through ink really quickly. And I said, you know, no. So this way I get to do each one. I'm using up my paper stash. I'm using up my scraps. I'm you know, going through what I have. I don't have to go out and purchase anything. The popcorn, I purchased the popcorn, I want to say in, I think August or September. I purchased the popcorn, because usually I look and I try to purchase things when I know, like right now you can purchase the popcorn. It'll still be inexpensive, but usually when the weather changes, everything goes up, and with the price of everything now, it'll probably be, a little bit more than what I pay for it. But I did get my popcorn in the summertime. It's still good. It hasn't, it's not expired or anything. And like I said, it's a great gift to give someone, and it is a super great seller at my craft shows. So I just wanted to come on and say that. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel. I was thinking on a side note of maybe doing something as a challenge to grow my channel, and I was thinking, because I love the holidays, and I was thinking about doing like a Christmas card exchange. For every Christmas card someone sent me, I would send them one as well. And I would keep yours and add it, then I would take all the names of people who sent me a card, and I was thinking of putting together a what would fit into one of those padded mailers. Some items that I know that I have not used, or I use maybe once or twice, as far as dyes and, all that kind of things, embellishments, ribbon. But to be honest with you, even though that's something that I would like to do to try and grow my channel, because I don't have that many subscribers, I honestly have to say that I don't think I'm going to have time. My next craft show is going to be a big one, and it's at Heim Elementary, and it's going to be December 6th and 7th. It's a 2-day show, Saturday and Sunday. And because I did so well at St. Leo the Great, I did sell out quite a few things. I really have to make up for a lot of that. And I'm starting now to do everything, because I really don't want to be doing it. I really don't want to be rushing, like, having to do stuff, the day after Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving Day, or, any of that. So I want to have my stuff done so that I can concentrate, relax, and do some things around the house. And also I have a lot of things to still do in my shed. So, this, like I said, and I was thinking about doing that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So maybe I can do something after the holidays and think of a way to maybe have some kind of contest or something to kind of grow my channel, get my subscribers up. But for right now, I just wanted to thank everybody who has subscribed to me. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much that means to me. I appreciate everybody looking at my videos. It really is a great feeling to know that there are people out there that really appreciate what you're doing, and they like what you're doing, and I know it makes me feel good. So and I have been I've had a lot of things going on lately, and just in general, what the times we're in, I just I needed that pick me up. And when I see that someone has subscribed or someone has left me a nice comment, it really does make my day, and I truly do appreciate it. So at any rate, I'm going to get off. I'm going to end this video now, but I wanted to come on because I had a couple of more of these to do. I have maybe about 7 or 8 more to do, and I think I'm just right now just going to wrap them all in the paper, and I'll do all my decorating later. But I did want to decorate a few so that you would get ideas of seeing what you could do with what you have at home. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. And if you live in an apartment building and maybe there's 5 or 6 people in the apartment building you want to give something to, maybe you just want to say happy holidays. This is a great gift, and it's inexpensive, and to be quite honest, this is probably more economical than if you said, okay, I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree and get everybody a little something. This is probably more economical, because all you have to do is buy the popcorn and use what you have at home already. You don't need to go out and spend a lot of money, just to make something nice. So thank you so much again for listening, and please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye-bye.